I'm Daniel, the past life regressionist, and it's time to begin.
Lift off and the clock has started.
This is Timeless Spirituality. Enjoy each of your time.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Timeless Spirituality. First note, parents, use caution if you're playing this episode in front of your children. Some of the themes just go a little bit off the rails, so yeah, just want to throw that one out there. So for today's episode, I'm really excited to have two guests because we're going to be talking all about religious indoctrination. And I'm going to be joined by my co-host, Sophia Spallino, from our upcoming workshop. And we're going to be talking to Angie Blue about her experience in our previous workshop and her experience with religious indoctrination. But the interesting thing is that it goes beyond just quote-unquote religious stuff. There's a lot that's been brought up in me throughout this process, and I'm not someone who's remotely religious at all. There's just something about indoctrination that really, it messes with your mind. And what's been coming up for me through the process of just editing the episode is I'm having some imposter syndrome. And why that is because I feel some guilt and shame for things that I've done and said. Some of those I bring up in the episode. And it makes me feel, because of those things that I've done or said in the past, that it should prohibit me from being in a position now where I can help people. Especially in this circumstance, women who have had things said to them that have really caused harm. So that's what I'm reckoning with right now. It's that part of me that just does not feel worthy of doing this. But look, we all make mistakes. If I'm in a position now to be helping people move beyond guilt and shame, I should be able to do the same for myself. So I'm going to release this episode, even though I do feel some imposter syndrome going on here, but it's okay, because it's important for me to ask myself why. Why beyond what I just said? Why do I feel this way? Because there's got to be more to it. So while you're listening to this episode, I ask you just to become aware of what's being brought up inside of you. Because if you're listening close enough, something will come up for you. And whatever it is, it's okay. It's totally okay. So now let's talk about the workshop a little bit. I'm just going to give you the description as it follows in our description on the website. So the title is Releasing Religious Indoctrination Workshop. This workshop is for you if you're ready to take the next step in releasing the fear of sin and shame surrounding your sexuality and evolving spirituality as you leave traditional religion. This will be a safe and confidential place to reveal and heal as we share about understanding sin, hell, queerness, purity, guilt, shame, and questioning religious authority altogether, and ultimately embracing our sovereignty and taking responsibility to heal together. So what you can expect is 3 to 4 hours of intentional time together, identifying the root causes of shame, demystifying guilt, healing through shared experience, quantum healing through a guided meditation with yours truly, and then a real-world application of a closing embodiment exercise led by Sophia. And this workshop will take place on June 26th at 11 a.m. Pacific Time and 2 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be about 3 hours, but just plan for 4 just in case. And the price for it is $44 up until June 20th, and then after the 20th, it'll be $55. And just so you guys know, our workshop will not be recorded because Sophia and myself want this to be a safe place for everyone to share when it comes to processing and undoing whatever has come before. And we both want you to know that neither of us will offer you any absolutes because we only heal as deeply as we allow ourselves to. So the question then becomes, how much are you willing to feel and release? So what do you say? Want to join us? And with that said, if you would like to book a regression with me to discover who, when, and where you have been throughout time, you can reach me on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist or on my website, thepastliferegressionist.com. And now, it's time to begin. Angie and Sophia, thank you so much for being here today. How you guys doing?
So well. feeling wonderful and rested after a nap.
Well, that's the best way to be.
It is. It's the best way to reset your vibration too.
Beach Boys. First question. Let's start with Angie. What is your favorite song about time and why?
Beautiful Now by Zed. So I'm a hardcore EDM fan. And a lot of people, when you think about time, this song, I love it. And it's my song I listen to every morning after I do my affirmations because it's talking about the present. And right now in my lifetime is by the hour or by the day. So one of the favorite lines of it, and I pulled up, it says, wherever it's going, I'm going to chase it. What's left of the moment, I'm not going to waste it. And my personal life motto has always been live your best life.
Thank you for sharing. All right, Sophia, you're up next. Favorite song that has to do with time and why?
Vienna by Billy Joel, which might be a little different than the reasons why you asked me to bring up a song about time, but I always find myself, my ego just contradicting itself being present. Like I know my soul knows to be present and my ego wants to think of the future and rush and or live in the past, right? And live in the trauma. So there's this line in the song that's like, what's the where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You've got so much to do and only so many hours in a day. It's like remembering to just be present and not burn yourself out. But then also the truth is told, you can get what you want or you can just get old. Like no one will only have so much of it in this lifetime. And sometimes that pressure being on. So it's like, you can look at that and you can think to yourself, pressure to perform, pressure to do this or that, or how much more present should you be because you only get one.
Oh, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Both really good choices.
Thank you.
Very meaningful. Sophia, want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Sophia Spallino. I am first and foremost Daniel's friend and Angie's new friend. I am I'm about to be 30. So I guess I could say early 30s now, life coach. I have recently come out as a high femme queer woman, and I'm very proud of who I am. I wasn't always able to be proud of who I am because I grew up in purity culture that was perpetuated by religious indoctrination, specifically from the evangelical church and Southern society. And I exist to help wounded women realize that they are worthy of not only joy, but exploring all of their desires, whether that is stepping out of the closet, coming out of the closet sexually or spiritually, meaning it's safe to leave behind the things that we were told we will burn in hell about. Many people who were brought up in religious indoctrination, which I think is what we'll be talking about today, we're told that we will go to hell, which is a fiery place that you will burn in forever and ever for committing certain sins or living a life that is not what the Bible says your life should look like. And specifically for me, that meant being gay is not okay. So I grew up always hearing those messages from church and not able to be myself. And so I exist to be an example of breaking all the rules.
Well, you break them.
Thank you. I just want to be this walking permission slip to be a slut for yourself. Not if like that, whatever that means for you, just exploring all the things, whether that is other traditions, non-traditional relationships. So other traditions as in other religions that we were told we would, if we question God or any authority, we would go to hell, or exploring different non-traditional relationship dynamics, or exploring your sexuality, whatever that looks like for you, knowing that it's safe to set yourself free. So that is what I do.
Angie, how about you?
My name is Angie Blue, like the color, so you won't forget it. I was an event and wedding planner for 15 years. First wedding I ever did, I was 19, and I'm 35, so I'm old.
No.
And COVID hit, and I shifted, the classic word pivot that everyone did, and I started doing social media management behind the scenes. Loved it for some of my wedding and event vendor friends. Had best month of my life in August with doing that. And then I had a freak stroke at 34 this past August. I grew up evangelical, just like you, Sophia, and that is how I've connected with you. When I was actually in ICU, my sister found podcasts for me to listen to because my vision was messed up. And you were so bold and direct, and you talked about stuff that nobody else talks about. And so I grew up saved, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
old enough, youth group leader, the whole no sex before marriage deal. And I would say, I moved from Pittsburgh to Dallas and went into the event and wedding world. And it is the most diverse world of amazing people of all faiths. I did a lot of weddings of different faiths, and it really was more eye-opening for me. And I find myself now living back at home while I go through my recovery with my evangelical parents. So this has really pulled a lot out of me to stretch me even more spiritually. I would consider myself a spiritual Christian, for lack of a better way to say it. And it's been a fun ride so far. So we can get more into that. But that's my background. I'm a cat mom to a black Maine Coon named Karma, and I have 1,000 nieces and nephews. So aunt life is the best life.
Wait, humans or cats?
Humans are the nieces and nephews, but I have one cat.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
One other question.
Yes.
You think 35 is old?
Well, compared to Sophia turning 30, trust me, if you've almost died and come back, 35 seems old.
but aren't you glad you're still here? Like it's incredible that you are here after what you've been through.
No, like literally I almost died twice with my stroke. Once when I passed out in my apartment, I was alone, and my stroke moved when I was in the hospital. So when you have near-death experience, it makes you feel old. I mean, I don't know how old you are, Daniel, but to me, 35 is old, but I love getting older. My 30s have been my best decade. I feel like this is my third life. This is like my third life now.
You know who you're talking to here, right? You know how many lives Daniel's lived. How old are you, Daniel? How old are you?
Yeah, how old are you really, Daniel?
Why? Well, that's a very existential question in a grander sense. But I'll tell you a quick funny story. Is I've known Sophia now for about probably 19 months. Yeah. And we become friends in that time. And a few months ago, she asked me how old I was. Do you remember what I told you?
I honestly am not going to lie, because we talk so often that I can't even, like, every conversation, all I know is you make me pee my pants at least once.
So I told her I was 42.
But you're not really 42.
But I'm not really 42
no.
though, yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and I thought it was funny. She's like, really? Oh my God, like you look so good for you. I'm like, you think I'm 42? I'm 36.
That would be something I said.
I thought you were close to my age.
Yeah, it's a good age.
I was going to make a joke saying, you're the only man who can make me wet my pants, but you make me pee.
That's greatness.
What is this? This is taking some really sacrilegious. Yeah. Anyway, Sophia, as you were saying.
As I was saying, you said something really interesting to me. So many people who are deconstructing, they never reconstruct. I thought I might reconstruct. I didn't actually get there. I love that you're reconstructing and you're defining yourself as a spiritual Christian. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a really interesting.
Mind if I ask what reconstructing means?
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever someone's deconstructing their beliefs, they're taking apart the things that we were taught and really thinking for ourselves as adults for the first time. Because what's happened through religious indoctrination is we are literally taught not to trust our own hearts, not be our own authority, and oftentimes look to men in authority, not even people close to us, although the head of the house is always the father and your mother is never equal to your father in Christianity. But the men in high places in the church, that's who we were taught to look to, and not only look to, but not question and not question ourselves. So when you're reconstructing, you're actually asking questions for the first time ever. And you can reconstruct in a way that ultimately leads you back. Maybe your truth is staying within Christianity, and maybe you make it something true and beautiful for you, but you've at least taken time to think it through as an adult.
Yes.
Most people, once they think it through, they completely deconstruct, but some people do stay. And there are beautiful things about Christianity. I still connect with Jesus. I just don't define myself as a Christian anymore, but I believe what Jesus said. So I guess that's how I would define myself. But what you're saying is, I feel like you're in this camp of damned if you do and damned if you don't, because yes, the Christian people are like, but that's not a real Christian.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the other people are like, you're a Christian, so like you must like not love all people. You must, be pro this or that, and they make assumptions about you based on a label. So do you experience that discrimination from your own community as a Christian?
Totally. So especially something that I found in my life, but right now, when you go through a trauma, like this would be, a medical trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
It brings out the worst and the best in the people closest to you.
Yeah.
I have experienced incredible hate. And I mean, let me tell you this. I have had, I won't say who in case he ever hears this podcast. I have somebody close in my family, like immediate family, who is a Baptist preacher who at Thanksgiving this past year came to visit with his wife and child and told me that God caused my stroke to my face at Thanksgiving. So this is the type of stuff that I deal with from the, I was evangelical, but we always went to like Assembly of God or like non-denominational church, not like Church of Christ, Lutheran, Baptist. So,
Same.
And if if you're evangelical, what I mean, right?
And let me just interject for just a moment. What she is meaning, for those of you who don't know, is we go to the cool churches. We go to the churches that are like, we're cooler, we're more accepting, we're more loving, but it's not always that.
No. So I faced that from immediate family, but then, a really awesome thing, and I would definitely want to remember to say this, is my mom is my best friend. And she, even though she's evangelical, we were actually having a conversation today because I told her I was going to be on a podcast tonight. And she goes, "What is it about?" And I said, "Well, if you really want to know," I got into it. And I mean, we were talking about sexuality, like sex before marriage and all these things, because I'm not married, don't have kids, don't want kids. And I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm living with my mom and dad. By the way, he is not my birth father either, but he's in my life for 25 years. So there's a whole blended dynamic here. And he's very evangelical. And on Mother's Day, out of nowhere, when I walked in to the breakfast room, he goes, "So you're never going to have kids, huh?" I'm not joking. And like, this is all happening while going through stroke recovery. So we have these sides, but then I have my mom, who's actually more progressive, very open. She has always said, "Don't believe what I believe just because, you're raised that way. Find out what you believe for you." So I have to give my mom a lot of credit she's a huge influence in my life. And she's been very supportive of me not sticking to how we were raised. And I'm living under her roof again. You know what I mean?
And that's very rare story to hear.
Very rare. Yes. Very, very rare. And I will forever be indebted to her for that.
That's beautiful that you have
amazing.
That relationship.
Yes. And so to me, maybe labels are just labels, but for the sake of when people that I, around or been raised around, or even my peers today or colleagues or things, everyone, I think if you ask, do you know what Angie Blue believes or what's her faith on things? It would be, she's a Christian, but she's spiritual, not religious.
Okay. So it's amazing that you have this relationship with your mom, because so many people who grew up like us don't, as we shift and we start saying, "Hey, I'm going to start thinking for myself." And that's the thing that Daniel and I want to share most in our workshop is we're not telling you what to do or not to believe. we don't want to do anything but teach you how to listen to yourself and remind you really to listen to yourself. So peeling back layers of trauma to get to where you are to think for yourself, we start processing some things. As you've deconstructed, what are some of the things that have come up for you through working with us or working with yourself where you're going, whoa, that was not okay as a kid? Like, what was the first thing you could think that pops into your head?
Two things when I was on the first trauma workshop with you guys. First was the whole view on sex is bad, 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 bad until you marry a man, and then you can be crazy, fuck like rabbits, have children, and it's fine. And I was even talking to my mom about this today. I mean, I lived with my ex-fiance for 5 years, so I did not follow that in my life. And I've had my hoe phases, and I've had, I've had. My mom knows, I should know everything. But today, like, this is an example, the whole no sex before marriage, and how I even said this to her. It was like, sensuality, sexuality is not discussed at all in youth group, in church, from the pulpit, regardless of what Christian denomination, even Jewish faith, Muslim faith. It's like any organized religion, you will never hear sexuality spoken from the pulpit. You won't. And all of them, if they're very, orthodox, are about you don't have sex before marriage. They never give you a reason. And then you marry a man, and that's it. And, and you get married young. And if you don't, and then you might be going to hell. And if you have sex before marriage, it's a sin, all this stuff. And I don't believe that anymore. And I haven't for a very long time.
You know what's coming up for me right now? And I think you would even touched on this, is they don't give you a reason.
No.
I always saw it as a way to control women. But as I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about the men now too. And it seems like the men are left out as well. Because
yes, men or women. It's
so
just
what
don't
is
have
the
sex
reason?
before marriage.
Like, what could the reason possibly be for that?
Don't know.
So I have a reason. So first of all, there are these scriptures that were just based on law, because back in the day, women were property. We're reading a historical book. This was written for a different time, a different culture. And actually the laws that were there were to control women, but also in a way to somewhat protect and provide for women once they had children. Because otherwise, I mean, you're useless. You're valueless in society. So you would need that protection from a man back then. And so all of these antiquated ideas, because they're in this Bible that everyone who is in this faith, maybe not everyone, but most in this faith believe is the living, breathing word of God. It's not something that just applies to the past. And that's why. But also, if we're just going to look at this from the woo-woo perspective and spiritual perspective, I mean, sex is an exchange of energy. So
soul ties, right?
Yeah, I mean,
even soul ties, I do.
Yeah, I do. So I think there are certain things that we can think logically about to protect ourselves. But look, I'm going through a whole phase right now. I ain't too
and you're proud of
unhappy.
it.
Girl,
I'm so fucking
living
proud.
vicariously through you. Okay.
Oh, and the internet
When you
don't
go
even
through
know
struggle
half of
free,
it.
There is no. Let me just tell you, self-pleasure has become my new favorite thing.
Yes.
See that,
Please tell
Sophia?
me.
You're pissing off priests everywhere now.
Everywhere and turning bitches gay.
I love it.
The gay agenda incarnate. So, okay, no sex before marriage, big deal. I'm so glad you brought that up, because purity culture is, I would say, what fucked up my life. I mean, I was expected to get married young. Daniel, you're so lucky you didn't have to experience this stuff, because as a woman, you have this pressure, and it all comes back to time, the thing you work with most. You only have so much time. If you don't use it, you're going to be an old maid and you're never going to be able to have sex. You literally don't get to have sex, and sex is the reward. So there's this pressure to get married, to experience a very natural desire and human function. So
Is this really about the religion at the core of it? And that you guys have just been screwed over because of an idea of this institution?
I mean, we've definitely been fucked in the ass with no lube without being fucked because we
That was a better way
waited
of putting
so
it.
long. we waited so long. Oh my gosh. I mean, Angie, can I ask, how long did you wait to have sex, and was it a shameful thing that you felt like you had to hide the first few times?
Yeah,
Because
so definitely. So I was in college. So I left home when I was 18. Oh, you'll love this. My college boyfriend was a worship pastor of a mega church.
Oh, and he had to hide that he was fucking.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, I got to tell you this. So I'll tell you the short version. So we dated for like 2 years. I lost my virginity to him at 19, turning 20. And when I started dating him, because he was on pastoral staff, like mega church, Dallas, Texas, Bible Belt, okay?
I already know which
I was
one.
freaking 19, okay? I had to sign an NDA. Yeah. No joke. Because I was dating someone on staff, saying if he shared anything with me that's going on in the church, blah, blah, blah. This was so extreme. This church was, so technically I think it's considered non-denominational, but I remember like we weren't allowed to be seen alone together in a car. We're not supposed to be at each other's houses by ourselves. Like there always had to be someone else with us. Well, that's unreal. I mean, it was just insane. And I remember when I had it for the first time, like it was awful. As a woman, it's a little painful. But in the moment, I did not feel shame because I wanted to do it. Like it wasn't forced. It was a consensual thing. I'm an adult. And even though it physically hurt, obviously the first time, well, for me, it did anyways. We stayed together for like another year after that. And like I was happy. But we did have to hide like being alone together. And, it's not how a relationship should be. It should never be that way. And I didn't even tell my mom I lost my virginity until years later. We have this agreement that when I don't want to share something, we just say, we'll agree to disagree. I can truly say as an adult, I've never lied to my mom because I just won't. I'll just say, we can agree to disagree. And she knows that probably whatever I'm going to say is the opposite of what she wants for me. So that's when I lost my virginity, but I didn't feel shame in the moment. I really never felt shame. And I think it was a turning point for me just as an adult. I liked it. As more happened and I was like, sex is awesome. And why is this wrong? And this doesn't make any sense to me. Like if we want to do this, we're an adult. Like God made us sexual creatures. Does everyone forget this? And, it's also women have sexual needs too. It's not just all about the man. All the scriptures people reference the Bible, a woman should fulfill the husband's needs. Last time I checked, I have needs too.
A happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, no, it's true. And so in a weird way, I think that was my first moment at 19 where the seed was planted, like, well, I'm not going to do this. And then I went on to have a hoe phase. Had a great time, dated someone for like 2 years, had another hoe phase, then met the love of my life. And we had great sex. He was French African. And I would say I met him when I was 24. He really opened my sensuality and sexuality. And
maybe wasn't raised with the same culture.
He was raised Catholic. Like he was raised in Paris, European, not American.
More open.
Very open, Europeans, French. By the way, I'm half Greek too. So I have family that live in Germany and Greece. Europeans have a totally different view on sex, period. And my family in Greece is Greek Orthodox. But
that's strict too, right?
Yeah, very strict. But it's also, there's a level of, Greek Orthodox is a level of it's like Catholicism and mysticism mixed together. So the whole evil eye mystic part, if you're really deep into it, which I am, like my cousins who are our age are, it leaves you more open. Like none of us are married. Like they're not married. And that, like in Greek Orthodox culture, if you're Greek, that's like insane. You're not married. You don't have kids. You're in your 30s. So that's more cultural. That's not really religious, I would say. But back to him, he definitely he opened up my sensuality and sexuality tremendously. We had great sex every day, all the time. I tried everything under the sun with him because it was a safe place. And I really experienced how sex, in my opinion, what I thought it should be. Like, it should be fun. And we weren't married, but it was like we were married. We were together for 5 years. I had a blast. And ever since then, I'm just like, I don't think you have to have sex before marriage. And another part of that story, I moved in with him after knowing him for 2 weeks.
Oh, and in Christianity, that is a big
no. And honestly, if one of my girlfriends or guy friends came to me and said I'm moving in with someone I just met 2 weeks ago, I would be like, let's hold on here. Like, I had my own place, whatever. Really fell head over heels in love, but we were together for 5 years. So
That's
another
beautiful.
thing, the norm, what everyone says, is not always the best. I always say you have to do what's best for you. And so that really shifted me internally, how I view my own sexuality, sensuality. I've always been very comfortable with my body. I'm a very curvy woman, which, weight and all that too, when you're having sex with your partner, your self-confidence affects a lot of your sexuality too. And I think he really loved me for me. And so that really just like blossomed me. And then after him, I had another hoe phase, and then I had a stroke.
Well, I am in full agreement for your wholeness, so you can have great sex soon.
I hope so.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so a couple things came up for me. You said doing what's best for you, like you got to that point. And I think so many people who grew up the way we did don't get to that point on their own. They end up having to go to trauma therapy, or they end up needing to be so miserable till they're almost 50 or in their 50s, till they actually are brave enough to let go of these rules that are finally making no sense to them because they're actually thinking about it. So I'm really happy that you did start thinking about it sooner. And the second thing that came up for me was you said you lost your virginity.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're taught because of a concept that we can lose innocence, that it can be taken away. And that is purity culture once again. So even though we think we're healed or, we're releasing layers, there's still a part of us that feels on some level, I lost this thing, when it can't be taken from you. Nothing's taken at all. It's just an experience. And so it's interesting that I'll say it too. So I'm not like pointing it out to be like, oh, you're not healed.
I know,
we're all
like,
going
honestly,
through.
I never looked at that. So you just said that. Like, I just had an aha moment. It's just an experience. I love how you said that. It's just an experience. I didn't lose something.
Exactly. Yeah. None of us have lost something. Well, I have goosebumps right now. But none of us have lost something. It's not something we have to go back and get or be sad and grieve or wish that we didn't give it to that person we didn't end up with, because we're really just sharing an experience. And now, if your first experience was taken from you in an assault, that's so different. But if you,
totally,
but if you're, consenting and happy, it's not anything you're getting taken from you. And it's interesting because all of this language, someone like Daniel, who never experienced purity culture personally, I would love for you, Daniel, to share that story about your friend with the spaghetti straps in school.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share that? I think that just lets people know how purity culture penetrates through even into Los Angeles in a Jewish boys' school.
Sure. I'd first like to say that this conversation would go much different if it was just Angie and me. Thinking I should have known better that bringing Sophia on, it would dive into the sexual aspect of things.
Oh yeah, we'll keep it sexy.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, like, as we're recording this in May of 2022, I launched my podcast 6 months ago. I knew a lot of crazy things would come up on the podcast, but I never thought we'd be having a conversation like this. I'm like, this is cool. This is different. I'm in.
Allowed? Are you sure?
Yeah, it's my podcast. I do what the hell I want.
I'm like, I'll rein it in.
Is it okay for me to say hell around you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Is that better?
That's better.
Oh no, you're good.
So thank you, Sophia, for also helping me explore the realms of sexuality with timeless spirituality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's dirty, right? Yeah.
I
This is
mean,
what
you
do.
helped me through. You helped me through regression to figure out who I fucked in a past life, to understand why we still have connections in this life. I mean, it's always about the sex, Daniel.
It's true. I mean, I encounter this a lot in regressions. I was like, okay, but this is a new area. Maybe this will be a once in a month thing. Okay, anyways, back to what we're talking about at hand here, religious indoctrination. Okay,
tell
the
us your
spaghetti
journey.
strap story.
Yes.
So, as Sophia was saying, I am someone who didn't grow up with purity culture. I did not grow up in a religious household. So, I don't know what it's like to be you guys. I don't. When we did the first workshop, I went in there with the mindset of, I'm here to do my part as the past life regressionist to facilitate a group regression for everyone. And that's what I'm going to be there for. But in listening to everyone's stories before the regression came up, I had this aha moment of how I had been affected by purity culture. Not, I guess, directly, but by being brought up in a society where it's prevalent. Now, I grew up in Los Angeles. I grew up in a very liberal neighborhood. I grew up in public school. And what I had shared in the first workshop was there was this picture that popped up in my mind while I was listening to you guys speak, which was the very first day of 7th grade. I had English first period. And as soon as everyone sat down, the teacher stood up in the front of the class and he looked at this girl, her name was Sarah, and said, I'm sorry, but I need to write you up, because she was wearing a spaghetti strap. Sarah just started crying, and rightfully so. And you could also see it with the teacher. You could see that it was a male teacher. You could see that he disagreed with it, because he wasn't doing it with glee. He was very hesitant, but that was the rule. And as I'm sitting there as a 12-year-old boy, I think it started to also ingrain in my head that any girl who wears a spaghetti strap is a slut.
So deep.
It hit me hard because it made me just think, well, where have I don't want to necessarily say victimized women as a result of that, but where has my perception on them by either something I said or, just my interactions, or how even my energy presented itself if I was around women who were dressed that way. So it was interesting for me to see that it affected me as well. And if it affected me in my little liberal community, then it's everywhere. It is permeated into every aspect of society. And I think that as men, that's something that we need to reckon with. Now, it doesn't mean that we need to go as far to say that we're the enemy. So for the 4 men who listen to this show, sorry, I see my demographic breakdowns.
Is it girls?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, Instagram too. I'm 90%
Hey,
female
mommies.
and 10% male.
You got some gay girls listening.
Hey,
Call
is there a
me.
chocolate, beautiful man listening? My name's Angie Blue. Follow my handle.
I don't get ethnic breakdowns, so I don't know.
Oh, come on, Daniel. Got to get it in there.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, yeah, if there's, I'm trying to think if any of the 4 men.
That was a poster. You have to edit that out.
So I think that that's something that we need to look at, because even as someone in my mid-30s now, it made me really sit back and say, well, do I still see the world that way? Do I still look at women in that way, even if I don't consciously do it? Am I subconsciously looking at them a certain way? And still not as an object, but thinking like, you're a whore for wearing a spaghetti strap, which still consciously, I'm not thinking that.
Right.
But I think that that's something that we need to look at. So it's even men who didn't grow up in religion. Now, again, man, I'm not saying that we're the enemy. And for the women listening also right now, if there are guys who are willing to look at these things, please support them. Because
Yes.
I'll say that's something that bothers me with the guys who are willing to step up, is that they become targets.
No.
So please support the men who are doing this, because I think it's important for us to look at these facets of our subconscious, because if we're able to do that, then maybe we can proceed differently. Because
Amen.
I can't even say for sure that as a past life regressionist, that hasn't permeated into my practice. Because if I'm listening to someone's story on a subconscious level, am I still thinking that? in one way or another. I don't think so, but I can't rule it out. So
You're
it goes
so aware. I love it.
right. It goes so far beyond just social interactions. So how will the workplace change if men look at this? How will politics change if men look at this? How will religion change if men look at this?
You need a podcast just for that, Daniel.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And to be honest, I can say the same thing about internalized homophobia, which comes from Christian rooted beliefs. It's internalized, even though I'm a queer person. Like you're saying, I'm not a woman, so I won't understand this. Like, understand that internalized beliefs, internalized indoctrination affects us even if we are that thing. So like as a woman, I still have to check myself not to judge another woman. I might be living my whole life, but when I see someone else live theirs, there's that part of me that's like, oh. And then I realize, wait, I don't believe anything bad like that. I was taught to look at her differently, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm living my life free. I'm being gay. I still have those thoughts towards myself. So please, give yourself that grace.
I mean, I appreciate that. And it's something I remember the time around Me Too. Well, actually, truth be told, it was our former president's grab 'em comment that, you know, I didn't need to see the men starting to get hunted down first with Me Too to, you know, have that reckoning a year earlier. But I think it was more in an overt sense when it came to that. Whereas now, what is this now? 6 years later, after that comment, it's come to this place of thinking, oh, well, what about when I was in 7th grade? And something that I had mentioned to Sophia, I believe was when we did an Instagram Live, is that there were about 35 kids in that class. I only remember one of them. I only remember Sarah. And, well, that's not true. I remember 2 people. I remember Sarah and the person of color in that class because I grew up in a very white neighborhood as well. So
Wow.
it's a shame that that's why I remember Sarah. And I feel bad for that because she was innocent there. You know, she wasn't dressing like a slut.
Yeah, she's a child. It was hot outside.
Exactly. It was the first day of school. It's 100 degrees out where I live. It's hot. And like, it was the late 90s. That's what this style was like. And it wasn't about, you know, just, you know, fill in the blanks there. It was a spaghetti strap. It was not, you know, and it's.
Well, yeah, but we're.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, girl. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, Daniel, we're like same age, right? I remember we like spaghetti straps in our school too. Same thing. Hold your hands down by your sides for your shorts. Wear a t-shirt over a one-piece bathing suit if you're at youth camp, because the boys is like, what the heck are you doing to girls? You know, and then I grew up I grew up north. I mean, but it's still hot. You know, I mean, we're not even developed yet.
You know,
what I mean?
I think the flip side of it too is, remember, since this was the late 90s, it was also the time of sagging. So,
that's true. I forgot about that.
With the men, no problem with us having our jeans down around our knees
and your ass hanging out.
Exactly. But Sarah can't wear a spaghetti strap.
Yeah,
like it's a horrible double standard. Yeah. It's horrible.
That's why I love these conversations and why the workshops have been so healing, because sharing these things brings up these memories that we wouldn't necessarily think of on our own. I know someone's listening right now going, oh my God, this brings back this memory of maybe being shamed because my shorts weren't past my fingertips, like Angie was just saying. I mean, that's a real thing. We've all experienced that if we grew up in this purity culture. And the shame of, you're saying I wasn't even developed yet. The shame of when your body does start developing. I remember hunching my shoulders over to hide that my boobs are growing. And I remember my dad having a conversation with me that felt so uncomfortable. Like, you'll never let a man touch your breast, right? You promise, not till you're married. And it's like, those are just conversations I don't want to have with my dad. I mean, maybe if I didn't have a mom, there's a place where your dad needs to talk to you about sex, but like not that. And I had a wonderful mother who could have those sex education conversations with me. Not to mention that we don't even get queer sex education because of purity culture, not only in our household, but because this religious indoctrination affects our school system, American nationalism or Christian nationalism in America. Sorry. It blocks certain things from being allowed in school. So everyone can have access to just basic.
Do you remember, Sophia? Did you have true love weights and your dad and mom give you the purity ring? Now I gotta tell you, I love my ring. It was a ruby.
Oh,
I still
I
have
had a
it.
diamond. I
I
still have mine too.
it, but I took that shit off when I lost my virginity. I literally did. Like, I remember the moment it was on my hand and my hand was on him. Let's just put it that way. And I literally.
You guys were holding hands?
We were holding hands, and I literally remember being like, damn, I gotta take this shit off.
See, that's so beautiful to me that you were like in your power in that moment, because I didn't get that feeling until maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. You know, I really was affected by it for so long. So, you know, even having sex after my divorce with the boyfriend that I had after the husband. I mean, my pastor was really not happy that I got a divorce. And I remember that was the moment where I thought my parents finally stood up for me. I remember my dad saying, don't say anything. He was verbally abusive to Sophia. Like, you don't understand the situation, should leave. But biblical grounds for leaving is only if you were hit or cheated on. So I would literally pray. Yes.
You're right. And that's messed up too. Like, I forgot that you were married. Sorry, I'm a brain fart. But I have a lot to this day. Like, I have some very close people in my life, women that are married to verbally abusive, narcissistic men. And they're staying because they're like, there's no biblical grounds, right? Infidelity, or like you said, hitting. Verbal abuse has been proven to be worse than actually getting hit, because it fucks with your psyche.
It does.
It's horrible. So good for you, girl, for leaving. I say kudos to you and any woman or man who has left a verbally abusive marriage or partnership relationship, because that is far worse. And there's no physical signs. So a lot of times churches, or, you know, all religions, I would say all Orthodox religions are against divorce, right? Mm-hmm. That's a fact. And they all have their reasons. And I think the most common two are infidelity and physical abuse, but verbal abuse should be added to that, because that's far worse.
It really should.
You, girl. Good for you for leaving. Nobody deserves that. That is not okay.
And at the end of the day, we were both unevolved people. We weren't ready to get married. We should have lived together. We should have experienced sex together, and then decided if we wanted to get married. And we weren't given that time.
Mm-hmm. I just have to say, I don't believe that any institution or any person should be able to dictate what anyone does. With
totally. Yep.
You know, like for the pastor, right? That's what you call him?
Yeah.
Yes,
like,
pastor,
who the fuck is this guy to be berating you about your marriage or what you should do or not? Like, who the hell gave him the authority? Oh, wait, it was an institution that gave him the authority. Well, fuck you.
It's true. It's true. And then so many people look up to that person that it just becomes who we look up to. We don't think about it. We don't question it. We don't ask the hard questions, because that would be not having faith. And we're supposed to have this childlike blind faith and not trust our own hearts, because they're deceitful above all. There's so much scripture, but they cherry pick to back up looking up to one human. But I wanted to talk about, okay, so for anyone.
Sorry, very last thing I got to throw out there.
Yeah.
If you're married and your husband doesn't like chocolate and you love chocolate and you want to get divorced because he doesn't like chocolate, I believe you should be able to get divorced. I think that goes both ways.
I mean, maybe talk about it, you know, maybe be like, can I have chocolate in your presence? I mean, unless he's like actually insane about it. I'm like, come on. Look, devotion is important.
Look, I didn't say it wasn't ridiculous, though. It's entirely ridiculous to divorce someone because they don't like chocolate. But you should be able to do that if you want to force someone because they don't like chocolate.
Yeah, no.
Or they sip their water too
loud.
Sorry, I watch Seinfeld, so.
I love it. So that's what's so interesting. I think people who look at me and Angie, women who are deconstructing or have deconstructed or reconstructed, and they think, well, you're not devoted to anything. You must not really be a real spiritual person. There's no way, because you don't follow the same rules. And I think the whole point of all of this is, whether you go back to Christianity or you completely leave or you become an atheist, is that you learn how to think for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
you hit the nail on the head. Yeah. So many people don't.
Yeah. They don't. And it's because we're taught to be afraid. And I don't know about you. I know that whatever I believe, I want to believe it because I chose it, because I know it in my heart, not because I was told to.
Yep.
And Daniel is a past life regressionist, but I partnered with him to do these workshops. One, because he's my past life regressionist, and I've personally had incredible experiences that I cannot explain.
Yeah, Daniel, I need to get on that. Sorry to interrupt you, Sophia.
Oh,
I
good.
am deep into like Reiki and auras and seeing the future, that kind of stuff that runs in our family. I would love to book a session with you or something. Sorry, you can edit that out of this. But
That's
I wanted
okay.
to say that.
I'm going to leave that
forget.
in there. I can be quite vain in that respect too.
I wanted to say it before I forget again. I forgot like 3 times. My short-term memory isn't all there. So please remind me.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And it's all worth it, because every experience I have has shown me something that explains something that I could not understand in this lifetime. And so what's really powerful about partnering with Daniel to do these workshops is, just like you're listening now, we heal through sharing. We heal through identifying these roots of shame and guilt that we may have not thought about on our own. We heal through those conversations. We demystify the guilt. It's like, oh, wait, I don't have to feel that way. And then Daniel takes us through a meditation where we go back in time, and we can go back in this lifetime and see things, because he primes us, because he's trained to do that. He primes us to go there and see things that we're ready to see, that our soul's ready to see, and that we're ready to let go of. And there may be something that you might not remember. I know for me in the last workshop, there's these memories that came up that were something I didn't think I could remember until we got there, and you put us in that state. And what I was shown, I was able to release. And it's so
Love that. That
powerful.
sounds so beautiful. Release is like the motto of my life right now. Release.
Yes.
Let go.
Yeah.
Let go. Just let go.
All we're doing is, Daniel, the thing that you say about the backpack. I love that.
Oh, with walking up the hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for everyone, I believe I've brought this up on the show before, but if I haven't, the analogy I like to use, or just the visual I like to give you, is that I'm never going to claim that this is going to heal you. I won't do that. I think that that's wrong. But what I believe it has the potential to do is, I tell everyone to picture a mountain, and it's a mountain that you need to climb, but you've got a big old backpack full of rocks on your back. What this process can help you do is empty the backpack, so it's easier for you to make it up the mountain. But there's always the potential that along the way you can get some more rocks in there. Now that's up to you if you want to allow those rocks to come back in, but you still have to get up the mountain on your own. So that's what I really feel about this workshop, is that it's not only me though, it's Sophia as well, because in having those group discussions, it's like we're emptying out the rocks, because these things are coming to our attention. Like even for me, in talking about the spaghetti strap, which is something that I brought up during the workshop, because I'm like, holy shit, I've been affected by this too. Mm-hmm. And then it's a matter of, okay, well, that's a couple rocks that I get to take out of my bag, because I'm still climbing a hill too. So I believe that that's what it has the potential to do, is it's just to make it a little more, well, let's just say a little simpler to walk up the hill, or a little less strenuous, but you still need to make it up. Well, not the hill, the mountain, because it's not going to be easy to make it up. But Angie, do you mind if I ask what your experience was with what you saw during the regression part of the session?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember my gram came to me. My Grammy was my mom's mom, and that's the side of our family that actually my great grandmother was a Wiccan. Okay, so I'll just put it this
Well, you have
way.
a story to tell.
I got a story. My great grandmother was a Wiccan. My Grammy got quote unquote saved, but she was like how I am. She was smoked 2 packs of marbles a day, drank her 6-pack of beer at night, had her Bible there, and she was real and raw. And I saw her relationship with God. And I always remember this growing up. And so when we did that in the workshop, she always comes to me when I'm doing Reiki or meditation or, with you guys in that workshop. And then it's almost like I physically see her, and she's sitting on my bed. And she said, I remember that, well, let's just say the gist, not verbatim, but because I was pretty fresh with my stroke, she's like, Ange, that's what she always used to call me, Ange. She's like, I got you. You've got this. And I really needed to hear that because, your body, well, my body, it's going through so much stuff. And there's memories deep down there that I don't even know. I'm in therapy too, by the way, besides physical and occupational. I'm also in therapy, working with therapists through the trauma of having a stroke. But that is also, with your workshop, with my own self-meditation, stuff keeps coming out. And I do have that moment. So I saw her. I just felt that. And then I told Sophia after I DM'd Sophia, I actually see auras a lot. And it started happening about 3-4 years ago. And I saw an aura around you, not Sophia, and several people on the call. And I didn't want to say it because it just wasn't the right time. But that happened to me when we were meditating too. And I wasn't looking at you on the screen, but I saw different color auras around people.
Wow.
Yeah. And not everyone is open to that, and I literally didn't even really know you guys. So I didn't want to just be like, hey, by the way, you have,
Oh, we're open to that.
Well, I mean, you guys are, but I didn't know about all the other people on the call. So I just kind of kept my mouth shut on that one. But yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot that came out of that. I just remember feeling a peace just come over me that I haven't had in a long time. I haven't. And I really told myself, just be open. I always say be open. And I've been meditating for years. So I really know how to calm my core and just empty your mind and just truly be present. That is also the thing. A lot of people let their mind race, right? But
Yeah.
I did. I had an amazing experience and I felt so much peace after our workshop, just internally. It was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I don't know how else to explain it.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool to think how many people saw so many different things. Some people saw, at least I did, like going back into a physical church, like a memory from a child. Some people saw their loved ones like you did. And some people had like actual past life, like they weren't in this life, they were in a past life that they went back to. It's all about whatever they needed to see, whatever your higher self wanted to show you.
That's the beauty of this process is I have no control over what you guys are going to see. I remember doing everything in my power to keep it in this life. Say, okay, we're going to go to moments in this life, but you may find yourself in a place that you don't quite understand because it may be a past life. It does, just roll with it. But the subconscious knows. It knows exactly what you need to see.
Oh, we rolled with it. It
was so deep. It was so deep. I loved how everyone was just open. I felt like the whole I don't know what the vibe of the whole workshop. It's just people were open. There was no closed-mindedness. You have a way of doing that, pulling it out of people. I need to look for a better word doing that. You know what I mean? Facilitating your inner self, your higher self to come out, Daniel. You have a gift for that.
Oh, thank you.
For sure.
I appreciate that. And I'm really receiving it. But this was Sophia because no, really. And look, I have no problem accepting credit where credit is due, but I also need to give credit where credit is due. This was not my world. I mean, yeah, I've got the past life regression stuff down. I got the regression stuff down. but it was the atmosphere that Sophia facilitated in the first half, getting everyone comfortable with going to these places, because there were some people there who were sharing for the very first time.
Yeah.
And in order for me to be successful, they needed to feel comfortable first. And I couldn't connect with them in the way that Sophia could. I mean, sure, I still could have had it just been me, but not to the degree that Sophia was able to, because I don't get it. And that's what I think was just amazing about this too, is, as I was saying before, I didn't realize that I was going to come out of this with something so profound. It's the little things that really, really just make the biggest difference, because who would have thought that sitting as a facilitator in a religious indoctrination workshop, that I would then be speaking out about, hey, men, like we need to look at these things. We need to, like and that's because of you guys, because of the stories that you guys shared. I walked out of there a better person. So like,
we all did.
Right, Angie? That means so much to me. Like that you said that. Just thank you so much. I
meant that. If you can't tell, I don't say anything I don't mean. I'm a direct, no bullshit.
I appreciate that.
But, Daniel, thank you for saying that. That's very sweet. And I receive it. But also, we did this together. The workshop was your idea. I don't even know if I would have gotten into workshops as soon as I have. Like, to be able to host something virtual that is so intimate, I didn't know if I could do that. I had some fears around hosting a Zoom call with more than one person. I do one-on-one meetings.
That's your first time doing
it
that. I would have never known.
Oh, she nailed it.
You guys are a very powerful pair for a workshop.
We're gonna work together.
You really are. You're like the yin and yang. You need each other for it. I don't think if either of you weren't there, it wouldn't have been as powerful. But that's why both of your strengths, like you guys pulled out each other's strengths in that workshop. And
we pull out each other. Thank you. And we pull, what I see someone needs to release, I'm able to pull that out with Daniel by my side, where we have combined tools and experiences that help people crack open what needs to be what they're ready to crack open. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you for sharing your story, your experience. I mean, I know it took some courage to get on here, and especially with all that you've been through, it means a lot.
Well, I have always said, and even you'll see, like, as time goes on, I hadn't posted on my personal stuff for a long time, maybe 5 posts in the last 9 months, because people are haters. There's a lot coming out, but I think that might be changing soon. I'm going to start sharing some more stuff, and I really don't care what people think. I don't. I don't. Like, literally a couple of days ago was my 9-month mark of post-stroke anniversary, and I did a little post and shared more than I have publicly, like the close people know, about it, but I was able to share it without getting emotional. You know what I mean? Like without breaking down and not being able to say it out loud. And I was just, I was doing talk to text because I can't type right now. And I just feel like I have a new boldness to share my story because it helps one person. That's all that matters to me. And, and if I get 10 haters from it, who cares? I've always said, if you don't have any haters, you're doing it wrong. Because that means you stand for nothing and you're too mediocre. If you don't have haters, you're doing it wrong. And I have plenty, so I have more now. Must be doing something right.
When you start deconstructing, there will be people, whether you're deconstructing from societal norms or religion, there will be people that just cannot handle your light and seeing your freedom in you. And so I honor you for just being free and being willing to share it. It takes courage when you come from this background.
Angie, as I've been listening to you, I mean, one, I've been captivated by just your sheer will and determination.
Thank you.
And thinking, when are you going to start your own platform to share your story? Because it's not only for people who have had a stroke. It's for the person who has come in second place in every single track race that they've ever run in.
Yeah.
It's, the person who wants to hit a home run that they've never been able to hit. Wait, so when are you going to, and I understand that there are limitations, but I'm thinking even for something like an IG Live, where all you got to do is hit record.
I knew, how did I know that you guys were going to say this? I have had my close friends and people in the event industry say, you need to write a book. You need to start sharing your stuff. And, I looked pretty bad for a while, and I'm vain. And, my speech wasn't so good for a while, and I still can't really type and stuff. But you're right. You know what? I can do a video. And I do, I have a platform in the event and wedding industry. I'm in the center, very, well connected. I was in there for 15 years in Dallas. I have the audience. I just haven't had the courage to do it yet.
Well,
and I think this is the nudge, the last one. Actually, this is the push off the cliff that I need to do it. So thank you for saying that. I'm accepting it. I'm going to process it. And I know I need to do it. And it's just, even getting on this, I'm a very open person, but it's hard to be open when you almost died. I don't know how to say that. I'm open, but it's hard to relive going through what happened with me for a stroke when your whole life blows up, and there's a lot of judgment. Well, I'm just saying there's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of haters. A lot of people are like, why aren't you better? I have close friends that I've had people call me bitter. I've had people say, why aren't you back in Dallas yet? Why aren't you working? It's do you not understand? I have fatigue. I can't see straight. I can't walk without a cane. I can't shower by myself. I can't open a jar. I can't read for more than maybe 5 minutes without the words on the pages. People close to me don't understand, and I've had to explain. People are uneducated what happens for stroke. And I was too. I remember being in the MRI, come out of MRI and ER, and he's like, so you've had a stroke. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What the hell are you talking about? And so it's just the platform's there. I really appreciate you saying that. I know I need to do it. I actually, in my gut and in my soul, even when I was in the ICU, I was like, I am going to start a foundation when I get better. And my last name is Blue, right? My closest friends and family made a page called the Blue Tribe. And it was to update every one of my stuff. I had a meal train. I had positive words of encouragement, et cetera. But I already have the name for it. It's going to be the Blue Tribe Foundation, and it's going to happen. And it's going to be, I need to start a new Instagram handle, IG Live, and just start sharing, because I know I do. So thank you for saying that, Daniel.
I've been
scared too, honestly. And I don't know why. I'm used to being in front of people and talking and being open. So it's just weird. I've been really scared to do that.
Look, with regards to the people who don't understand, and yes, I think Sophia encounters this more than I do. I usually piss off the people who are believers. I just want to share a quick story with you guys about when I was in high school. I was always okay with people who were gay. I had no problem with that. It was a matter of, you're not hurting me. You're not hurting anyone. My parents taught me that it was okay. However, there was a girl who had 2 moms. And I remember thinking less of her because of that. And I made a comment to one of her friends about, not saying, oh, well, she's, it was, I don't know if she can, granted, I was a teenage boy who just didn't, I'm not, who I am now. I just want to make that clear to everyone. I'm talking about an incident, not even an incident, just a thought that I had 20 years ago. But I think still it was being conditioned by society where it was only a man and a woman who could be parents. Even though
society
I was, okay,
was conditioned.
Right. Even though I was okay with the gay thing, but there was even that part where I still had my bias and my preconceived ideas, but I don't see the world that way now. I see it as, why can't a child have 2 mothers or 2 fathers? They can still grow up. someone with two mothers can still grow up to have masculine and feminine qualities. Someone with two fathers can still grow up to have masculine and feminine qualities. Like it doesn't necessarily need to be one or the other. So, I bring that up because that may have been the turning point for me. Because I think even in the act of saying it, it made me realize at the time, is that actually the case?
Yeah.
Is that actually reality? I didn't get it then, but I get it now. So those people who may attack you or say, well, why are you so bitter? Why are you, this or that, or,
bitter. You guys are talking to me. Do I sound bitter to you?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I'm saying, like, even though,
yeah.
Oh, no, not in the slightest bit. I have
resilient.
never heard anything bitter come out of your mouth. It's just,
Thank
this is the
you.
way it is, but I'm confronting it and I'm doing something about it. That's all I've heard from you. But still I bring this up because those people may not get it now, but you may be the gateway for them to get it and understand it.
I received that.
I hope that there's some comfort in that.
Thank you. That is. I feel really peaceful right now. Thank you for being a safe place, you guys, for that. For real. Been
You're
thinking
very
about
welcome.
that since my strokes happened. I've been thinking about that. So that was the shove.
Yeah, but someone listening might have something that they're going through that they feel's holding them back from doing something they want to do. And maybe just hearing you say that was the shove is their sign. If you're listening and you're like, I need a sign. Well,
That's your
this is
sign,
your
girl
sign.
or boy. Come on, doll. That's your
Our
sign.
non-binary human. Okay.
Any final thoughts, Angie?
I would just say to anybody that's going through any type of recovery and is scared to speak out about it, or you're deconstructing your religious trauma, or you were raised in purity culture, or you're going through you're just going through something, you're scared to share it. Or I wanted to say this too. Sorry, got a little sidetracked. Share something, Sophia, related to sexuality. I actually have a girlfriend that was married to a guy for 16 years that just divorced him. Her divorce will be final in June. She was here visiting me in November, and she's come out as a lesbian, and she's one of my best friends, and she is with that girl now. And I wanted just to share that story to say it is never too late to live your truth. Whatever your truth is, live it, because life is short. And if you've experienced near death, it really puts life into perspective. Forget all of your first world problems and just be happy you're here. Live your best life and don't give a fuck what anyone says.
And so many of us, thank you for sharing that. So many of us don't live our truth for so long because we were taught that we could be judged for living our truth, that we could burn alive in eternity for living our truth.
Yeah.
And so we make the choices that we make unconsciously because of fear, not because of what we love, but because of what we fear. And so my closing words would be to invite you into sharing what you love, extending what you love, and living out of what you love, and no longer living in fear. And sometimes to do that, you gotta have a moment to talk it out. Maybe something came up for you in this podcast and you're like, wow, I healed a little bit just through this sharing. That is what Daniel and I's workshop is about. It is healing through sharing. Sharing is the medicine.
Mm-hmm. And the regression. Yeah. But okay, I guess that didn't land the way I thought it would. It's taken me over an hour to say that I'm a huge dork.
I love that you're a dork.
I love that you're.
I wear it well, don't I?
Too.
You do.
You
Very
do.
well.
Thank you.
He's a sexy dork. He's sexy and he knows it. Just hit the song.
Yeah. Wait, did I send you the video of me singing it? Was that what it was? Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I loved it.
I'm a past life
Daniel can
regressionist
sing.
who goes up at karaoke and sings sexy, and I know it.
Sexy and I know it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing because we trust you as women. You're a safe space, Daniel. So thank you for that. Like you're fun and you're safe. And I'll never forget that first regression with you where like just poured my soul out. You're a safe space. So
you guys are both so transparent and raw. And I love that about each of you. So many people aren't. It's beautiful. It's wonderful to be around people like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not easy. It's becoming easier. I don't know about you, Sophia, but I mean, look, if I'm bearing like a small fraction of everything, like Sophia, you're just out there with it. So I mean, you're
I'm very much out.
I love it. I love how real you are. But
You're bold. You're bold.
Yeah, you were bold.
That I am.
For everyone listening, I didn't get here overnight. It's taken me years to get to this point where I can feel safe-ish, because I still don't feel safe. I'm still hesitant in being transparent because there's still those fears of, well, am I going to have the pitchforks come after me because I'm out here saying this thing? But yeah. I appreciate that. But so for everyone, it takes time. Like, it really takes time.
It's a lot of undoing. Undoing.
Man, the religious really fucked us all up, huh?
It did. It did.
Totally
if you want to
did.
undo with us, I'm going to boldly insert the ad now. May I, Daniel?
Go for it.
We would love for you to join us. So seriously, we would love for you to join us. The last workshop was so healing. It was like over 3 hours of sharing just this confidential place. We do not record it. It's a live Zoom call. You can join from anywhere in the world, thanks to internet and energy. And it is a safe place. Everyone who's there is invested in their healing. However, the workshop is extremely affordable. It's only $44 to get in. It is extremely affordable. We want this to be accessible to everyone who has gone through something. And I don't know how much Daniel's hourly rate is, or if he breaks it down like that, but to work with me for an hour is over $200. So to do this workshop and to come in and spend over 3 hours with us for $44, it's a small group. It's beautiful. 3 hours of intentional sharing and then healing, and then doing this meditation with Daniel. And then I leave you with a closing embodiment exercise. It's worth your time investment and your energetic investment, $44. The price will go up on the 20th of June to $55, but that early bird rate is $44. And the actual workshop is on Sunday, June 26th. And that will be at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We would love to have you there.
The reason why Sophia and I are keeping it there is because at this point, I can't say this will never be the case, but at this point, it's not about the money for us.
No.
Because this is something we want to spend years building out. Like, we believe in this. Like, we want to be doing this in front of thousands of people one day. So it's...
And you will. We're going to manifest that. You guys are going to do it.
Thank you.
Millions.
The world.
Millions. Not thousands, millions. And
that's a big ass stadium.
Look, I receive, okay?
Receive that, girl. Receive that. And you too, Daniel.
I appreciate
that. I just want to help people set themselves free. I'm not here to do it. Daniel's not here to do it. Your mama who told you what to believe, you don't have to listen to her anymore. Your pastor, listen to yourself. That's all we want you to do.
Was that too much transparency on my part?
No, it was beautiful, actually.
There's no such thing as too much transparency.
Oh, well, I beg to differ on that one. I could share those stories when we stop recording, though. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for being here, and especially Angie. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for being willing.
Like, you're an inspiration to me, just for your perseverance. So I thank you for being a living embodiment of what I still will strive towards every day. So I admire your courage and your persistence. Just straight up, I admire you. So thank you so much, Angie. And thank you, Sophia.
Yes,
and also,
Sophia.
The date for the next workshop is June 26th. And hey, look, if you can't make it to that one, we're doing others. So
yeah, we are.
Just all the information will be in the show notes. So still, if you can't make it to that one, just go ahead and follow the page because there'll be updates. And
Yeah. If you're listening to this episode a year later, I'm sure we're still going to be doing this. Just look for the most recent link in our bio, and that's where you can sign up for the current one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Sophia.
Namaste, friends.
Fellow time travelers, your journey through time awaits you. Just want to thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. And if you're interested in discovering who, when, and where you have been throughout time, and you'd like to book a session with me, just go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist, or you can reach me through my website, yourpastliferegressionist.com.